Have you ever found yourself, really at a crossroads in life,
Hmm.
where the usual advice, the conventional solutions, they just feel like they're missing something fundamental?
Hmm.
Maybe you're dealing with a challenge that just won't go away, or there's this deep unease, maybe a yearning for something, well, something more profound.
Right.
And you start to wonder, maybe there's a deeper current here, something spiritual. It's that moment you realize things like self-discipline or how we love, or even just personal growth,
Yeah.
they aren't just separate goals. They're actually profoundly spiritual practices.
Yeah.
Practices guiding us towards, well, deeper meaning,
Right.
towards inner peace. I've definitely been there, searching for more than just the surface stuff.
And that's such a universal human experience, isn't it? When you look across history, across all these different wisdom traditions,
Mm-hmm.
ancient philosophies, modern spiritual paths,
Mm-hmm.
they're all wrestling with the exact same core questions. Why is there suffering? What's our real purpose here? How do we wake up to our fullest potential? And what's fascinating is how modern psychology, focusing on the mind and behavior, and these ancient spiritual principles, often centered on consciousness, the soul, they offer these incredibly powerful and actually complementary pathways, not just for healing old wounds, but for really experiencing profound personal evolution, a deeper fulfillment. They're not opposed at all.
Yeah, that's a great way to think about it. Two sides of the same coin.
Exactly.
And that sets us up perfectly for our deep dive today.
Yeah.
Our mission really is to dive into this incredible stack of sources that really bridges that gap. Psychology and spirit.
Hmm.
We'll be drawing from foundational texts like M. Scott Peck's The Road Less Traveled, which is this almost like clinical rigor about responsibility and love. And then the profound, really paradigm-shifting ideas in A Course in Miracles, which challenges our whole view of reality.
It really does.
Then there's Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now, a guide to just being present, and Tara Brach's Radical Acceptance, focusing on self-compassion. Plus Gary Zukav's The Seed of the Soul, which gets into the evolution of consciousness, a kind of spiritual science.
And we're not stopping there. To really get the full picture, we're also going back to the ancient Upanishads, foundational Hindu philosophy.
Right, yeah.
We'll explore the paths in the Bhagavad Gita, plus other really rich contemplative works like The Cloud of Unknowing, that medieval guide to mystical prayer,
Wow.
and the amazing journey and autobiography of a yogi, the classic Be Here Now, the provocative conversations with God.
A controversial one sometimes.
Definitely gets you thinking. And the intense purification in Dark Night of the Soul, plus the very practical wisdom in the untethered soul.
That's quite a list.
It is. But our mission here, with all these diverse viewpoints, is to pull out the most potent nuggets, to help you see how these ideas, which might seem disparate therapy insights, ancient mysticism, how they actually converge.
To offer a more holistic approach.
Exactly. Healing, growth, awareness. We'll look at how things like self-discipline and love aren't just psychological concepts, but deep spiritual practices. We'll compare, maybe contrast, some traditional psychology views with these awakening insights.
And really reflect on the illusions we hold.
Yes, illusions, attachments, and ultimately your own unique path of growth towards, well, an expanded consciousness.
Okay, that's a huge mission. So where do we even start on this journey? For me, digging into these texts, one theme kept popping up as like step one. And it sounds almost backwards if you're looking for peace.
Mm-hmm.
But it's discipline.
Mm-hmm.
M. Scott Peck in The Road Less Traveled really nails this. He famously says, life is a series of problems.
Right, which can sound pretty bleak initially.
Like, exactly, like a complaint.
Yeah.
But he turns it right around into this incredibly empowering call to action. He says, discipline is the basic set of tools we require to solve life's problems.
It's the toolbox.
Right. Not rigid control, not some strict routine you hate. It's about equipping ourselves, building that inner capacity, the resilience to handle life's challenges. Because they will come.
Inevitable.
And it's not just surviving them, but learning, growing through them. It's preparedness, not punishment. And, crucially, understanding that discomfort is just part of the deal.
Precisely. Peck isn't saying, oh, life is terrible. He's saying life has challenges, now let's get empowered to meet them. He really elaborates on this, explaining that problems naturally bring up a whole range of uncomfortable, often painful feelings.
Yeah, he lists them out.
Right. Frustration or grief or sadness or loneliness or guilt or regret or anger or fear or anxiety or anguish or despair. It's not just a list of bad feelings. It's acknowledging the inherent pain that comes with real growth.
Our instinct is usually to run from those feelings.
Exactly. Avoid them, push them away, find a distraction, a quick fix. But true discipline, Tech argues, involves a willingness to actually lean into that discomfort, to consciously choose to, as he puts it, suffer along with yourself.
Instead of abandoning yourself when things get tough.
Mm-hmm. He uses this really powerful analogy about a child with loving parents. He writes, if the child thinks, if my parents are willing to suffer with me, then they internalize, then suffering must not be so bad, and I should be willing to suffer with myself.
Ah, so that's the beginning of self-discipline.
That's what he says. It's the genesis. It's not about external force, it's an internal shift. Developing the capacity to tolerate, process, and ultimately transform our own pain into progress.
Building that inner resilience.
A compassionate but firm presence with your own experience. Instead of just suppressing it or running away, it's that courageous act of staying with yourself, even when it's hard, knowing that transformation lies on the other side of that discomfort.
Okay, so if discipline is the essential toolkit, the capacity we build, what about the driving force, the fuel behind our connections, our being? That takes us to love. And how maybe our understanding of it needs, well, a serious upgrade. Moving beyond the typical, often limited definitions society gives us, Peck tells this really powerful story in The Road Less Traveled about a patient, Rachel.
I remember that one.
Through therapy, she has this incredibly liberating realization. Sex was not a matter of commitment, but one of self-expression and play and exploration and learning and joyful abandonment.
Which is quite radical, even now.
It is. And what's striking isn't just about sex specifically, but what it says about love and relationship overall. It pushes us beyond just duty or obligation. It suggests this much broader, freer understanding of connection, a space for authentic self-discovery, joyful engagement, not just a contract.
And this radical redefinition, moving from obligation toward self-expression towards open exploration, it echoes even more expansively in texts like Conversations with God.
Right, that book makes a pretty bold statement.
Extremely bold. It suggests there are no such things as the Ten Commandments when it comes to divine love. Why? Because God's love is inherently, fundamentally unconditional. No ifs, ands, or buts.
So the conditions we put on love
are human projections. The insight here is that our tendency to create rules, conditions, expectations, do this to earn my love, I'll love you if. It's not just social conditioning. It's a basic misunderstanding of love's true, boundless nature.
Both Peck, through Rachel, and Conversations with God are pushing us towards seeing connection, not as something earned or controlled,
but something we open to, a natural force that's already here, permeating everything if we just stop putting our mental fences around it.
Wow.
And this pure, unconditioned love, be here now, describes it beautifully. It's unconditional love, like sunshine, a natural force, a bliss that permeates every particle of existence.
Sunshine, I like that.
Yeah. It says this state transports us from the ego to the soul level. The Sanskrit term is Sat-Chit-Ananda truth, consciousness, bliss, the bliss of just being conscious of existence.
So it's a state of being.
A vibrational field, an energy where everything is just in love, in harmony.
Yeah.
It's beyond the mind's analysis. It dissolves all the usual drama and lets us experience pure, unconditioned connection. That's the liberation. Love as innate, not acquired.
That totally reframes things, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This idea of unconditional divine love. But, okay, I can hear people thinking, if that's true, why do we, in our everyday lives, struggle so much with conditional love?
Right, the gap between the ideal and the reality.
What is it in us, or our culture, that builds these walls around something that should be so free? Conversations with God tackles this directly, that it suggests we've actually forgotten what it was like to be loved without condition.
Forgotten our nature.
Exactly. And then we project this fear-based reality onto love itself, even onto God. Imagining a judging God who rewards and punishes, like, a flawed human parent might. And this fear-based way of thinking just distorts everything. How we give love, how we receive it. We're constantly trying to earn it, afraid it'll be taken away, judging others if they don't meet our conditions.
Operating from scarcity.
Yeah, scarcity and conditionality. Because that's what we've learned or experienced, instead of knowing love's true nature deep down.
And this brings us right to a core concept that blocks that unconditional flow. The ego. This is explored so deeply in A Course in Miracles.
Okay, the ego. Big topic.
Huge. The Course defines it as the part of the mind that believes in division. It's not like a little demon on your shoulder. It's a thought system, a delusional system that breeds guilt and this constant fear of punishment.
Where does that come from?
It's rooted in this fundamental, mistaken idea that we somehow separated ourselves from wholeness, from unity, or, in the Course's language, that we attacked God by choosing separation. This primal split creates this deep sense of unworthiness and a need to constantly defend the separate self.
And its main strategy is projection.
Exactly. The ego projects its own fear, its own guilt outward. It creates conflict, separation, not just between people, but within ourselves too. The Course says, whenever you respond to your ego, you will experience guilt and you will fear punishment. The ego is quite literally a fearful thought.
Wow, a fearful thought.
This deeply ingrained fear keeps us feeling powerless, stuck in cycles of defense, attack, and, crucially, unable to truly love ourselves. Conversations with God points this out too. Our first, most vital relationship has to be with ourselves. If you can't honor and cherish and love yourself unconditionally, how can you possibly extend that genuine love to others?
Impossible, really.
The ego's whole job is to prevent that self-love, to keep you believing you're unworthy, separate, and that just perpetuates the cycle of fear, judgment, and conditional love. It's the architect of our feeling alone.
Okay, so our view of love is tangled up with this ego-driven, fear-based stuff. Let's shift to another huge illusion the ego just loves to play with. Our perception of time.
Yes, time.
Eckhart Tolle, in The Power of Now, just shines such a bright light on how our minds are constantly trying to escape from the now. Just think about it for a second. How often are you truly, fully, 100% here, right now?
Rarely for most of us.
Right. Usually our mental energy is either stuck in the past, rehashing something, feeling guilty, regretting, or it's zooming into an imagined future.
Hope or anxiety.
Exactly. Either hoping for something better, which avoids the present, or, more often, worrying about what might go wrong. Fantasizing about success, dreading failure, this constant mental time travel. Being anywhere but now.
It drains us.
And it stops us experiencing the richness, the peace, the sheer aliveness of this moment. It's like living life looking in the rearview mirror or staring into a crystal ball, never actually seeing or feeling the road right under our feet.
That's a perfect way to put it. And Conversations with God pushes this even further, stating very directly, the present moment is the only reality. Stay there.
The only reality. That's radical.
It totally challenges our normal linear view of time. Don't think of time as a highway stretching out, past behind, future ahead. Instead, the text suggests time isn't horizontal, it's a vertical spindle. All moments exist simultaneously.
When you stack pancakes or records on a spindle.
Exactly. They all exist at once, but our consciousness just perceives them one by one, creating the illusion of past and future being separate from this eternal now.
Okay, that's mind-bending.
But incredibly liberating, because it frees us from the psychological need of past for your identity and future for your fulfillment. If all moments are you on, now your past doesn't define you in that fixed way. Your future isn't some distant salvation. Both are accessible, even changeable right here.
So how do we access that?
The Power of Now suggests a key practice. Monitor your mental emotional state through self-observation. Just ask yourself often, am I at ease at this moment? Direct your attention inward.
Just noticing.
Just noticing. The simple act of realizing you're not present is an act of presence. It's like a built-in course correction, bringing you back to the only moment that truly exists. And doing that starts dissolving the hold that past and future have on our well-being.
So escaping the now is one big illusion. Tied right into that, maybe even deeper, is how we cling to our pain.
The pain body.
It's like, if we can't find our identity in the present, we end up building it out of old hurts, unresolved stuff. The power of now, says it starkly, as long as you make an identity for yourself out of the pain, you cannot become free of it.
It becomes who you think you are.
Right. The pain, often from past hurts, traumas, injustices, it becomes an essential part of you, like a familiar, miserable old coat you don't want to take off.
Yeah.
We subconsciously resist healing because it feels like losing ourselves, losing our story.
A deep, often hidden attachment to suffering. It keeps us stuck.
Yeah.
And the untethered soul really digs into how this attachment works inside us. It talks about our hearts getting blocked over time, not physically, but by stored past impressions. In yoga, they call these samskaras.
Energetic imprints, like grooves.
Exactly like grooves. Imagine a really frustrating moment, anger, jealousy, whatever. The exact vibration of that feeling, the details, the bodily sensations, it gets stored.
Yeah.
Like an echo.
So programs us.
In a way, yes. It creates a sensitivity. So next time something similar happens, even a tiny trigger, that old pattern gets activated. Almost automatically. Hijacks the present moment.
That explains why small things can cause huge reactions sometimes.
Precisely. We're reacting to the accumulation of stored energy, not just the current event. This buildup often creates what Tolle calls the pain body, an energy field, almost like an entity, lodged inside us. Trapped life energy.
And identifying with that creates a victim identity.
A belief that the past is more powerful than the present. But here's the liberating spiritual insight. Life is surrounding you with people and situations that stimulate growth.
They're not random attacks.
No, they're opportunities. Invitations from life itself to let go of those stored patterns. The world is constantly giving us chances to unblock our hearts, release that trapped energy, allow purification to happen.
You don't have to judge or figure out who's right or wrong.
Just be willing to open your heart and let the healing happen. Trust the process.
Okay, so we cling to pain, and we also cling desperately to control.
Oh yes, the illusion of control.
The untethered soul observes this so well. We constantly try to stay within our comfort zone. We build these complex internal models of how everything should be. People, situations, even our own feelings.
The internal blueprint.
And the second anything deviates, we get uncomfortable, irritated, anxious, upset. Our mind immediately starts chattering, telling you how to get things back the way you need them to be.
The inner manager trying to fix reality.
It's this constant, exhausting effort to wrestle reality into fitting our expectations, to keep it all predictable, a relentless fight against the natural flow of life.
And this drive for control, this attempt to manage everything, is a huge theme in the Celestine prophecy. It talks about control dramas.
Control dramas.
Yeah, the human tendency to control each other, to acquire the energy that flows between people, often because we feel lacking in our own inner energy. We learn ways, subtle or not, to manipulate interactions, to get validation, attention, power, just to fill that inner void.
Or trying to get someone else to fix our problems.
Yeah.
Loneliness.
Exactly. The untethered soul mentions that marrying someone to feel less lonely. But these are all temporary fixes. They mask the real issue and stop us from going beyond our limits into real growth, real self-reliance.
Like the metaphor of the thorn.
Perfect metaphor. You have a thorn, you feel lonely, you think, I need someone to take out this thorn. You marry them, but you're still lonely because the thorn is still there. You avoided the root pain.
So the alternative is surrender.
Radical surrender, releasing the need to control. To enjoy life instead of clinging to it or pushing it away, allowing each moment with all its uncertainty and discomfort to actually change us.
Trusting that life is trying to help us grow, even when it's uncomfortable.
Especially when it's uncomfortable. Instead of constantly wrestling it into submission, it's a profound shift in perspective.
Wow. We've really unpacked some deep illusions holding us back: conditional love, escaping the present, clinging to pain, needing control. It can feel, well, a bit heavy, realizing how much these patterns run the show.
It can be daunting, definitely.
So the crucial question is, how do we start untangling this mess? How do we move from just seeing these illusions to actually dismantling them? Cultivating real, liberating awareness.
Where's the starting point?
The untethered soul offers something so simple, yet so profound. Just notice who is noticing.
Ah, the observer.
Exactly. When your mind is doing its usual thing, chattering, worrying, judging, planning, you just observe it. You are the one who hears the voice. You are the one who notices that it's talking. That's the core, becoming the observer.
The conscious awareness behind the mental noise.
It's subtle, but it's revolutionary. You shift from being identified with the thoughts to being the witness of the thoughts.
And that simple act of witnessing is the foundation for the practices in radical acceptance. Cultivating what Tara Brach calls the wing of mindfulness.
The wing of mindfulness. I like that imagery.
It means becoming clearly aware of the aching in our heart, the flush of rage in our face, or whatever sensations arise. We observe our thoughts, even the victim thoughts, the I'm not good enough thoughts, without any judgment.
No judgment is key.
Crucial. Just note them. Maybe mentally say, thinking, and then gently return to the immediacy of the breath. The breath is your anchor, your home base, always there, always present.
You don't fight the thoughts.
No, you just watch them pass like clouds and gently bring your attention back to the feeling of breathing. And the practice emphasizes the body as the ground of radical acceptance.
So tuning into physical sensations.
Yes. They aren't distractions, they're direct doorways to presence. When mindfulness is centered on the body, Tara Brach says, it leads to deep spiritual intention, to peace, and to the culmination of wisdom and awakening.
How'd that work?
By simply feeling sensations as they are, heat, tingling, tightness without resisting them, consciously softening any reaction against the pain or discomfort, allowing it to just be held in a spacious, open awareness.
Creating inner space around the feeling.
Exactly. It's not about ignoring it, but holding it without being overwhelmed. That leads to inner stillness, clarity, and this embodied awareness connecting you to your deeper self.
Mindfulness sounds like a powerful wingman, observing, being present.
Mhm.
But radical acceptance says it's not enough on its own, right?
Right. One wing doesn't fly. It emphasizes that the wing of compassion joins with mindfulness to create a genuinely healing presence.
Compassion.
But
Okay.
this means actively choosing to be softly and kindly present with our open wounds, those vulnerable, painful parts of us, instead of pushing them away, judging ourselves for having them, or rushing to fix them.
It's an act of self-kindness.
Deep self-kindness, a gentle embrace of our own messy, imperfect humanity. That compassionate presence is what turns observation into actual healing.
That makes sense.
And that compassionate presence is vital when we get to forgiveness, which can be so challenging but so freeing.
Especially forgiving ourselves sometimes.
Absolutely. Like the example of Marion in the book, who felt immense guilt for harming others. When we face our own mistakes, the ways we've fallen short, it's easy to feel undeserving of compassion, to get stuck in self-blame.
Yeah, that guilt can be crushing.
In those moments, the text suggests the only way to find compassion for ourselves is by reaching out to something larger than the self that feels so small and miserable.
Something larger. Like what?
It's not about dodging responsibility. It's about taking refuge in a boundless, loving awareness. What some call the beloved on Buddha or the Divine Mother, God, or Jesus, the Great Spirit, Shiva, or Allah, whatever resonates.
So connecting to that bigger love holds our imperfection.
Yes. It's acknowledging that our individual flaws are held within a vast, unconditional love that's big enough for our brokenness. So forgiveness, for ourselves or others, becomes less about condoning actions and more about letting go of blame and opening to the pain we have tried to push away.
Releasing the grip.
It's a release,
Yeah.
softening around the hurt, letting it move through. And this process of opening the heart, as the untethered soul describes so beautifully, can lead to unending inspiration, unending love, and unending openness.
Unending. Wow.
It's described as the natural state of a healthy heart, unblocked by those samskaras, unburdened by ego, open, responsive, not just a feeling, but a divine state of being, a boundless inner source.
So as we deepen these practices, awareness, compassion, opening the heart, the journey goes even further, beyond just inner peace.
It can lead into territories that many would call mystical, yes. St. John of the Cross, in his classic Dark Night of the Soul, describes this intense, transformative process, a purgation of sense and spirit.
Purgation sounds intense, not easy.
Definitely not easy. He describes it as challenging, even agonizing, where everything that isn't truly divine ego desires, attachments, even spiritual comforts gets systematically stripped away. Like a deep spiritual cleanse, an overhaul.
To what end?
It purifies the soul, he says, of all that is not God. And this intense process ultimately leads to divine union of love of God. It's not just a small change, it's a radical merging of the individual self into something infinitely greater.
That idea of merging, of union, does that appear in other traditions too?
Absolutely. It finds profound parallels in the Upanishads. They speak of reaching a state where you see all beings in the self, Atman, and the self in all beings, experiencing oneness. When those artificial boundaries dissolve between self and other, self and the cosmos, there is no delusion or grief. It's not just an idea, it's a direct knowing, realizing the heart is the dwelling of all beings, the supreme Brahman, the ultimate reality.
The divine essence is within everything, within us.
Yes. We're all expressions of one unified consciousness. The cloud of unknowing, another beautiful mystical text, calls this the endless, marvelous miracle of love. It's fully comprehensible to the soul's loving power, even if it's incomprehensible to all created knowledgeable powers.
Knowledge beyond the intellect.
A direct spiritual knowing that happens when the heart is wide open, aligned with divine love. And the Bhagavad Gita also points to this ultimate goal, achieving supreme happiness and liberation.
How does it describe that?
It talks about the cessation of mental chatter through yoga, realizing the self, attaining supreme happiness, sukhamakyantika yatad buddhigraham atindriyam. This liberation can mean merging into the impersonal absolute, the Brahman, or associating with the personal form, the supreme personality of Godhead, Quint, through paths like bhakti yoga, the yoga of devotion.
Is that path difficult?
The Gita presents bhakti as very simple and pure and easy to perform. making this profound union accessible through sincere love and devotion, a way to transcend the everyday through deep spiritual connection.
Okay, this is all incredibly profound, but it's not just meant for monks or mystics, right? It's not just theory locked away in old books. The real power is in living it, bringing these deep insights into our messy, busy, everyday lives, grounding the spiritual.
Absolutely crucial. Otherwise, it just stays as interesting ideas.
Well, how do we do that? Radical acceptance offers some really practical, doable steps, these mindful awareness moments.
Yes, these are key for bridging theory and actual lived experience. One is simply observing thoughts. When the mind starts its usual routine planning, judging, worrying, instead of getting lost in it, just note, thinking, thinking.
Like labeling it gently.
Gently, and then, without any judgment, gently return to the immediacy of the breath. The breath is always your anchor, your home base, your place of presence. You don't stop the thoughts, you just notice them and redirect attention.
Okay, what else?
Another is attending to body sensations. If a sensation gets strong, heat or chills, tingling, aching, twisting, stabbing, vibrating, wherever it is, let that sensation become the focus of your mindfulness.
Instead of pushing it away.
Exactly.
Right.
With a soft, open awareness, just feel the sensations as they are. And the really vital part is to soften any reaction against the pain, allowing the fist of resistance to unclench and open.
Unclench the fist, I like that.
The more you connect with that spacious awareness around the sensation, the more you can just be present with it, let it unfold naturally. Often it just dissolves when met with acceptance.
And the power of now also talks about connecting with the inner body.
Yes, feeling the body from the inside out. Direct your attention into the body. Feel it from within. Is it alive? Feel the life in your hands, arms, legs, feet, abdomen, chest. Feel that subtle energy field pervading your whole being.
Moving awareness from the head into the body.
Experientially feeling your aliveness. And one more from Radical Acceptance, exploring the half smile of the Buddha.
The half smile.
Just a gentle, slight lifting of the corners of your mouth. You can do it anytime you remember during the day. With practice, it's a simple but powerful way to reawaken the heart at any moment, fostering compassion and presence.
These are small things, but done consistently.
They add up. Gentle, consistent returns to the present moment.
Okay, so beyond these specific awareness moments, what about our overall intention, our actions? How do we live more intentionally, aligning our choices with these deeper truths?
The seed of the soul puts it so clearly and powerfully. Your intention and attention shape your experiences.
Our intention shapes our experience.
Wow. It means our inner state, what we genuinely intend, what we focus on, isn't just a private thought. It's an active force creating our reality. We're not just passive victims of circumstance. We're co-creators through our directed will, our focus.
That idea of intention shaping reality.
Yeah.
It comes up elsewhere, too.
Oh, yes. It's echoed profoundly in Conversations with God. It states, manifestation is a result of intention, and even more radically, thought control is the highest form of prayer.
The thought control is prayer.
Meaning the conscious, focused direction of our energy and belief is incredibly potent. Maybe there's a time lag in the physical world between thought and experience, but in spirit, it's instantaneous. It shows the raw power of pure intention.
And how does this connect to giving?
Beautifully. It links directly to Deepak Chopra's law of giving in the 7 spiritual laws of success, which says, the more you give, the more you will receive, because you will keep the abundance of the universe circulating in your life.
But the intention behind the giving matters.
Absolutely paramount. The intention should always be to create happiness for the giver and receiver. This flips the script on success. It's not about how much you get, but how much you cause others to amass. Contribution over accumulation.
And the purest form of giving
Is, as the ancient Tao Te Ching says, to give without seeking reward or thinking it is virtuous. No strings attached, no expectation of return, just an overflow of your being, an unconditional offering.
that activates the flow.
It activates that universal law of circulation in its most powerful way, creating continuous abundance and joy for everyone involved. It's choosing to be a source, not just wait to receive.
So where does all this lead? This discipline, intentional living, deep awareness. What's the outcome, the culmination of this path?
It leads to a life lived with fundamentally less fear and just this profound overflowing sense of fullness. The untethered soul captures it beautifully. If you don't close, it can be like that all the time, unending inspiration, unending love, and unending openness. That is the natural state of a healthy heart.
Not just fleeting moments, but a sustained state.
Maintaining that open, receptive state continuously. Letting life flow through you, not blocking it. Imagine living from that place, unburdened by fear. constantly filled by that inner wellspring of love and inspiration. This awakened state is one where, as Waking Up puts it, the conventional self is an illusion, realizing there is no place for a soul inside your head. It's freedom from the ego's tight grip. It's fear-based identity. Knowing your true essence isn't limited to your personality.
And in that state, forgiveness changes.
You realize there is nothing to forgive, because as Conversations with God explains, you cannot offend me, God, nor can I be damaged or destroyed. What an illusion. That understanding just dissolves guilt and blame. It reveals the invulnerability of pure being.
Like the wise seer in the Upanishads.
Exactly, who sees oneness and therefore experiences no delusion or grief. It's the peace and clarity that comes from directly seeing the interconnectedness of everything.
And how does someone live like that?
An awakened person living from that wholeness. The untethered soul paints this picture. If death were to come in an hour, a week, or a year, they would live exactly the same way as they're living now.
No regrets. Nothing left undone.
There is not a single thing they carry inside of their hearts that they would rather be doing. It's a life lived fully. No compromises, no postponement, completely engaged, totally content in the now. It's being freed from the platform of dualities, as the Bhagavad Gita says, liberated, happy, even right here in this world, unbound.
Wow, what an incredible landscape we've covered today. Seriously. From the practical discipline needed to just face life's problems.
The starting point.
To the huge, expansive nature of unconditional love. Then uncovering these deep insights about the ego, time, control.
The illusions that bind us.
And finally, exploring practical ways to bring it all home. Mindfulness, compassion, forgiveness, leading towards that deep spiritual union, those cosmic truths in the ancient text. What really stands out is how clear it is that psychological healing and spiritual awakening aren't separate tracks. They're deeply woven together. Two paths leading to the same place, wholeness and awakened life.
Indeed. And this deep dive, it's really just the start of your own personal exploration. These aren't just ideas to think about, they're invitations. Invitations to let them transform your daily life, reshape your inner world.
It's an ongoing process.
Definitely. The Seat of the Soul offers a great framework for that ongoing growth through reflection and conscious choice, integrating these truths into your whole being.
So, as a final step, a powerful integration, we want to invite you to take some time to journal. Really sit with these questions, let the answers come from inside. What did you discover about yourself by opening to your multisensory perception?
Go deep with that one.
And then, how did what you discovered affect your perspective of yourself and others? Try to be specific, use examples from your life, really explore it.
And as you reflect on that, here's one more thought to carry with you, something to ponder. If, as the Power of Now suggests, the most profound transformation of consciousness that you can imagine is to be free of time.
Free of time.
To be completely unburdened by past identity or future worries, what would just one single ordinary day look like if you truly lived it, moment by moment, fully in the eternal now? With a wide open heart that genuinely knows there is nothing to forgive, what would actually change?